Hi guys, what's up? This is Hans the Great, and I'm recording this video because I got some feedback, or I should call it better, questions from certain followers of my challenge, and general people who stick to the book and notice a couple of things that might miss in the book, or in general have questions about it. So I decided to reply to these questions with like a short video where we're gonna take a look at a couple of hands. And so basically, as you might already know, I'm still sticking. Actually, I'm playing NL10 and still sticking to the book, No 6 Max Bullshit by Gordon Gekko. And as you can see, I'm currently at NL50 and I'm doing fairly well. I mean, it was kind of interesting because like at 11, 12k hands, we didn't meet for a couple of days, so we didn't talk, and I was like playing incredibly dumb actually. I mean, I was like doing fancy stuff, floating, and general like, oh, now I'm free, now I'm over the micro, so I can like low stakes, now I can float, check red bluff, and all like this fancy stuff. And I got like mediocre results, but then I got flamed a bit and again stick to these fundamentals that I learned in the book, and I pumped up my win rate again. Better, it looks definitely good for now. And so yeah, we're just gonna take a look here. Okay, that's like the overall graph. But what I really want to talk about was like, as you might already know, most of you who follow a lot of their plays through the book, um, you may know that we're actually opening on the cutoff and on the button like a very wide range, and we're defending very little. So I got feedback, should we be worried because people at NL10 start 3-betting more and etc. So um, aren't we going to be like exploited or something? And they asked how much did I fold in the challenge, the 3 bets and things like that. So we're gonna take a look into that. So first things first, we want to look at our actual percentages from the NL10. Okay, that's like as you can see, this is overall on NL50 and from NL2 till NL50, how much did I fold? So this is all hands together. But we want to actually, since the player referred on to NL10, because NL10 people like to 3-betting more, which is kind of true, I have to say. Definitely, I think that speed, as in general, the more aggressive style people 3-bet way more, but they also very misplay it. I mean, there's in a lot of probably coaching videos that you should 3-bet this, 3-bet that, and general have like quite definitely like a wider 3-betting range. That's certainly true. But what I also like noticed is that they kind of misapply it as well in most spots. So yeah, as you can see, I played like 25k hands on NL10, and as you can see, my cutoff fold to 3-bet is like 55%, and my button fold to 3-bet is 70%. 70% is extremely high, and but as you're gonna see, it's not like that big of a deal. I still achieved like a fairly good win rate. I mean, it's like kind of like the smallest sample size, but I would say it's quite objective and realistic to expect. Okay, so we're going to take a look now into the cutoff, since sort of like people expected that we get on the cutoff like a higher fold, the 3-bet. I mean, this on the button is like quite to be expected. I mean, I expected 70%, so I expected as well on the cutoff 70%. But obviously I got a lower number, so we should probably going to now take a look here. And see what did I do differently that I get such a low number. Okay, so as we see, that's my NL10 graph. As you can see, quite standard, and it's not like I'm really brag with it. I mean, you already probably saw it in the thread since you're watching this video. But yeah, it's quite standard-ish, and I think it's a very good line. So now what we do want to filter here is basically that the pot was unopened, that we are on the button, on the cutoff, sorry, and that we're facing a pre-flop 3-bet. Okay, let's see how we're doing. As you can see, it's quite expected since we're folding quite decently the 3-bets. We're doing not so good. Kind of like as well seems like we run a bit worse in the spots, but as you already might have noticed, the blue line is in the positive, which means that when we actually get into a 3-bet pot with such a range, we're really not gonna lose a lot of money. But yeah, I think most likely, as the red line shows, we're playing basically a lot of folding a lot of pre-flop. That's why it is so high. And second of all, we're post-flop very frequently, quite frequently playing as well for a fold. So what we do want to do now is take a look at the hands and look for things that are not so standard. I mean, aces, queens, ace king is not something that's all in the book. I mean, that's something I'm not gonna take a look. And this is something I think I deviated, and I got, I think, a little bit flamed by Gordon, but in the end he could not say that I'm totally wrong, because after 650 hands, the guy 3-betted in general from the big blind like 15%, and against me 23. So yeah, and I had like a couple of reads, I guess, on him. I think that he was let me just take a look. Yeah, I mean, I didn't have all these reads. I think I had only the first 3, because I expect this hand to be my 4th note that I took on him. Anyway, I know that he's capable of floating c-bets and dry flops with overs, that he folds them into raise and 3-bet pot on ace king king, and that he's capable of making plays on the turn. But as you can see, he's barreling a lot, so in case we hit top pair, it's going to be payday. I mean, most likely. Especially if it's jack. If it's an ace, a little bit harder, but I want to now get into like hard topic. Anyway, this is something I did in generally wrong. Here I misapplied, and I think I got flamed by that. And if you're gonna watch, I don't know if that video was recorded or not, but this is a spot where I got flamed by Gordon, and I didn't play the hand well. I mean, this bet, but I think it was also, I think I slightly tilted in that hand when I played this hand, because that was at the early beginning when I shot NL10, and I was like frustrated. I had to stick to this book, and yeah, I mean, I wasn't like realizing the value of the book. It took me a while to realize that. But yeah, I think this bet on the turn is quite horrible, because what exactly do we really want to fold? And we know that this guy barrels like a maniac. So as soon as he starts, when he check calls here, I'm 100% sure that I'm beat. I know it's a made hand. It's just a question what sort of. And the king, yeah, good bluff, good or bad to bluff. In general, this would be a good card to bluff, but I mean, I don't have, since I could have some kings that I turned there, but I don't think he's ever going to fold, because people check call in the spots way too frequently, and so I just went ahead and checked behind and lost the hand to ace-4. As I said, yeah, that was the fourth read. I don't hate my pre-flop call. This is something I have like a reasonable proof to back it up. Guy 3-bets 12.1 over 650 hands, so the sample size sort of shows his tendencies. Okay, guy capable of playing tricky, and he re-steals from the big blind a fairly big, so that was like a big deviation that I get. Pre-flop I got as well the approve of Gordon, so he agreed with me, but he didn't like it post-flop because this guy is gonna almost always barrel us off when he starts betting, and we are with ace high going to do fairly bad, so we should probably right away just fold on the flop. Just for simplicity's sake. Okay, I guess next hand we have here ace deuce, if I know this correctly. So let's see what here happens. Okay, this is something I think, I don't know if it's mentioned in the book, but here, for example, I would fold to. This is probably when I call all three bets that are between 2 at 2.5x my open raising size. So this means if this guy would have opened 160, 165, I probably wouldn't have called here. But yeah, I mean, it's still not a big deal because I get like really good odds. I get like, as you can see, 26% pot odds, and ace deuce is even against ace king, even against kings has this 20%, 26% pot odds. That's why I'm calling here and feeling pretty comfortable. But yeah, flop huge, a check raise, he calls, and it's just a spot, whatever. I mean, it's not really important. I mean, that's actually quite one of the spots that I was hoping for because I hit like big time if I call. Anyway, let's search for like two more hands. Aces, nines, nothing. Jack 10. Okay, that's like something on standard. How again, as you can see, again I face one of these men three bets. Again I flat, flop top. Check behind on the flop, which I'm not really a fan of. I think I should probably bet three-way. Half pot seems reasonable. But yeah, I guess I was scared this guy would check raise here, which is kind of whatever. I mean, now he jams, I flat. And here the guy goes over the top, and once he goes over the top, I just know that I'm beat. And I didn't make like my life hard. And as you can see, I was correctly, and I could avoided a lot of these things just to bet on the turn. But yeah, the guy, I mean, it was lucky and hit on the turn. But the idea was basically that I should probably have betted on the flop, get it in against this guy, and be happy. But as you can see, it's nothing like eights are standard. Okay, 10-8 suited is something I guess that's not mentioned in the chart. Again, as you can see, I catched again this time even from a huge three-betting fish. So obviously having a player behind me, obviously I'm always going to go very wide. I mean, I'm gonna call here my whole cutoff open raising range here. So that's not a big flop top, and the kicker sucks a bit, but whatever. Calling to streets is planned. River is a check, and check behind, and I take it down. So yeah, okay, we have like king 10. Again, one of those whatever three bets. So it's folded to me again. I get like 26% odds. Call, flop good. He bets, I call. He bets, he checks behind. Now I check, and he bets all in. And for fuck's sake, what would you please jam here? I mean, this is so stupid. And I just snapped it off and catch up bluff. I mean, this makes just no sense at all. I mean, people just don't play like this. I mean, possibly if you could have jacks, but even that they bet like small on the turn. They like want to drag you along rather than jamming the river and pot size, increasing their fold equity to maximum. I mean, it's just doesn't make any sense. So yeah, I mean, if somebody folded here, I don't think it's a huge problem. It's just that I think that sometimes it's like hard to avoid the fact that you know that this is just a bluff. Okay, I think we have here ace 10 suited. And as you can see, I get again pretty good odds. I think I was lucky in that fact, that my cutoff of high fold to cutoff that would normally come if I would stick to the book. Um, I was lucky that people generally meant 3-bet me a lot, or like in this spot I got another caller, so I was like fairly lucky that I get like even better odds. I mean 20% is 10. It's a no-brainer here, sort of like. And catch check, go checks around. This guy folds, and I call the river, having top 2, and it was right. Good. I mean, but yeah. Anyway, let's probably take a look at another hand. This is probably as well going to be it. Again, as you can see, I'm playing against somebody who, after a very decent sample, I mean 670 hands, was quite okayish, and you see his tendencies. But again, was lucky and catched another call. Flop open-ender, but as you can see again here, already pre-flop, was lucky that somebody called, so what should I say? I mean, flopped open-ender, just playing passively, and I bet sizing, I like it. This guy goes all in, this guy might hear a call, hopefully something, but yeah, took it down, so yeah, let's take just at this hand a look again. As you can see, catched again. Again, this, I mean, if people give me here 27% pot odds, and on top of that, that give me position over them, it's like so easy, to play. That's why everybody tells you to raise like bigger out of position, 3-bet bigger out of position, because you're giving the opponent such good odds, even if he has premiums. I mean, I don't really have here. If he has, let's say he has here aces, and I would know that he has aces and kings here, I just have to, I have pre-flop already against his aces. Let's say I have like, for fuck's sake, let's say I have for simplicity 20% pot odds. 20% versus his aces and kings. I don't know how much I have, but I would judge like 15%. I have like 12% just implied to make it post flop, which shouldn't be like a big problem. I can so often here fold that it's incredibly, and I just went ahead. I just played it passively, knowing, and since I don't rate myself with fold equity, so I just folded. As you can see, you can play it as well passively. There's no big deal about it. I'm glad that I'm showed here, because most of us would just jam right away. But I just played it quite passively, and I'm happy with it, honestly. And okay, because you seemed like to be after quite frankly nitty, so yeah, and the book says that we should crawl just our open-enders and flush draws, so yeah, okay, one more hand, and that's it for today. So I open on the cutoff, and again, as you can see, I cut again this like really small 3-bets, and I really don't know what to say to this guy. As I told you, this is how I think iPoker works. I think really most people do this ridiculously small 3-bets. I guess on stars I probably wouldn't get away with just 50% full 3-bet. I guess it would be more like as well on the button 70. But yeah, anyway, I flat here, flop, top. Check, I bet, he calls, and I fold to his dunk on the river, which don't like that much, that fold, because his line makes close to no sense, and when your opponent's line doesn't really make sense, you should probably err more on the side of calling, but why it doesn't make sense, because he played check call, dunk river. I mean, as a 3-better. Oh, did he c-bet? No, he c-bet flop, check call turn, dunk river. I mean, it's what the fuck. But yeah, I folded. Gordon hated me to fold here in this spot, but yeah, I hope they showed you guys. There are a couple of more hands left, but they're pretty much the same whole thing where I just basically got the same pre-flop odds against this min 3-bets and similar stuff. So there's really no need to get into detail. As I said, button is quite sort of expected with something like 70% fold 3-bet. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Good luck at the tables, and bye bye.